challenged here. You're going 60 feet down the side of the mountain. You go up 150 feet.
Right.
Instead of starting on the top of the mountain.
Can't start at the top of the mountain. Mountain Overlay District doesn't allow us in communications guidelines, do not allow us to be at the peak. Yeah.
So one of the concerns last time was it's just the beginning. Okay, it's the beginning of a disaster. So it's a little bit with AT&T now, and then you're going to be developing more and more and more. And so what we never heard before was what's the full vision. So whether you know it or whether that can be presented, I think that was really important because it just looked like disaster around the corner, even if there were benefits. No one was describing the entire project of what is AT&T doing on the mountain.
I don't know the answer to that. I just don't. It's not. I just don't. It's
So
not my favorite.
I
But
would love to see in the Lovettsville meeting, because many of us are going to be at the NBT meeting, but we want to know a master plan because we feel a little snookered last time, which I think you weren't part of that, and so already it's better. But we're still snookered if your client is not explaining, look, it's going to be this, and it's going to happen over 10 years. And we also all understand cybersecurity. We know all these things, but we really like some authentic, honest discussion of what is really going to happen to our mountain.
understood. I do. I really do. And so I've asked that question. The answer that I have received is we're putting a cell tower up there.
Okay. So we're not really believing that.
I understand that. I can respect and understand that. I do.
I would totally agree with Amy. That doesn't really help us in feeling good about what we might say. Oh, we can handle a tower if it gives us a little bit more broadband. And then 2 years later, they say, well, we didn't do a good enough job this time. So in addition to bringing you out, we're going to bring you out and another group that'll give us a little bit more of the information as to what you want to do next. And it just keeps escalating and escalating. And next thing we have what we never intended to want on this mountain.
But
And I understand
part of
the issue,
the
but-
concern is that AT&T is providing a service for somebody.
Yeah, but not for
And who is that somebody? It's not us, right? It's the government, right? So the government dictates what AT&T can tell us, right? So it's not that AT&T is standing here saying, I can't tell you what I'm going to do. They're saying that our client is preventing us from communicating with everybody.
So that's accurate for the bunkered area, for sure, right? I mean, they took down the satellite, the big, massive satellite dishes, 3-4 years ago now.
And why did they take there was a building up there. Why did they take the building down?
The land use attorney asks that question every time we talk about any of this, because they didn't need it. It was.
Those are large buildings.
Yeah, there were 3 large arrays up there that each had a pretty massive building, right?
Yeah.
So they took it down because they weren't needing it anymore, because once the fiber came in and out, that was the way they communicated.
Will there be a building associated with this?
There will be the very typical 50 by 50 area at the bottom of any cell tower that will have an 8-foot tall cabinet inside of it, with all of the equipment in it.
But I do know that, Mayor Vance and I were asked to go, so we went up, we were asked by supervisors. And, it is a big area of construction.
So the big area of construction, I don't know when you went,
What, a year and a half ago? Year and
yeah.
a half ago.
So that was in the process of taking all of that stuff down,
Right.
clearing out some of the dead trees that were part of the invasive species that were up there, and regrading everything. So this is in an area that is not going to need any trees taken down, no improvements. It's in a spot. So you're familiar with it. It's behind the bunker. It's up the hill a little bit. There you go.
So which side's it on?
It's. Give me a second. It's right. Going to be in that area right in here.
Okay, so it's on the south side.
South side.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's a little towards Lovettsville, but not far. Mostly down the mountain towards Hillsborough.
So you said it was down the slope?
It has to be.
Like how far down
40,
from the
50.
peak?
40 or 50 feet down the slope.
So that's going to involve more tree clearing
No,
and
there's no tree clearing. This area is completely
So
clear.
it's closer.
No
it's
trees will
closer
be
to
impacted.
Yearsville.
Yeah.
It's actually closer to theirs.
Didn't years ago.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
down the
By
down
the
the
fire,
road,
by
down
the fire
the
department.
The area at the top of the mountain is completely clear.
so it is at the top of the mountain then. It goes up.
So there's a huge expanse of open area at the top of the mountain.
Right.
It's not a small. I mean, there's.
It's actually more top.
1,000 square feet or 1,000 square yards of open area up there.
Right,
So it's going in a clear area. No
at the
trees.
top of the mountain.
Not at the peak of the mountain, but at the top. Yes, at the top of the mountain, but
Okay.
not at the peak of the mountain, which is an important differentiator for the county.
And peak meaning the highest point on the
Yes, ma'am.
mountain?
Yes.
So it's still on the ridge line at the top then?
I believe folks get to have a conversation about what is and isn't the ridge line.
Okay.
What does this mean?
So it's not at the ridge line is the top of the mountain. This is not. This is below the ridge line. And so part of what I've done is, and I reached out to Mayor Vance. Sorry, I couldn't. Yeah, no problem. I tried to catch you on
It's
Good Friday
155
because you
feet
got
tall,
the bunny
right,
suit
this
when I
one, so
got
it's
when
50
I
feet.
got
That's what it is at the top.
So again,
But
I
it's
get
still on the
where
high
we are
part.
with
It's
this
still
project
up.
over the
Yeah.
course of the last several months.
Okay.
My goal and Mary Beth,
And it's against the comprehensive plan.
I think in the test that I am an honest broker in all of this. I will give you the information. I get it. I do. I live here. I went through it. I deal with lots of other interesting clients as well. I get where you guys are on some of this, but I will give you as much information as I possibly can.
Yeah, what I'd like to know is, what is the investment cost of building this tower? And who are the chief benefactors? Is it the people here? And could that possibly cover the cost of this investment? Is it something that we're willing to take whatever that service might be? Or what effectively will change that viewscape for our life? Right?
For-
So the cost of the investment is pretty much on par with any typical cell phone tower. It is a monopole. I don't have an exact number, but it's somewhere around $1 million, $1.2 million, I think.
So they could sponsor all of our events for you.
So I was
I just want
We
to
can have that
build
conversation
positive
separately.
affinity.
So this is consumer facing. This will help your businesses. This will help your homes. This will help our students. The reason we use wireless broadband in this conversation is because Verizon already has a wireless hub that they use. And I was having a conversation with Sam Croy and Tina, whose last name I don't think I ever got. And Tina uses, right down. Oh, hey, Sam. I have a question for you when we're done. Tina, remind me Tina's last name? Fair enough. Tina told me that she uses a Verizon broadband. Well, she pulls like 40 or 50 gigs off of that. So
you're saying that'll work from this tower?
it will certainly enhance everybody's ability to do so. AT&T doesn't have this product right now, but who knows in the future.
Well, Dave, I didn't know that AT&T sold broadband internet. I mean,
They
we get it
don't
on our
anymore.
phone through data, but who's buying broadband from AT&T?
They have a couple of test programs. This is not necessarily, I'm just giving you information. This is not related. They are unrelated at the moment, as far as I know. But they do have started to test programs on that.
Okay, so if its goal is to add broadband, who is getting the broadband? I don't,
Consumers.
but they
and
don't
businesses.
offer broadband.
So
Okay,
my brother
so-
works for Verizon, and Verizon is talking about their 5G,
Right.
and that will be Wi-Fi broadband.
So like my
And-
phone,
but
data
it's
on
not
my
here
phone
yet. The
will be
we're
better,
still 4G.
Your data on your phone, so yes, would be
which
better.
is right now still better than what I'm getting from
In your
All
house.
Points. So,
Right.
So that's what my question is. If you're offering broadband, so I have AT&T cell phone, my service will improve. And I live over here in direct sight.
I don't know exactly where you live. I can't.
I can see the
I
pole.
believe the marketing line is that I cannot tell you that your cell service will improve
Okay.
or not improve. But the concept is that this is a macro site that will help all of the towers communicate and will get better coverage
For everybody.
What is a macro? What does that mean?
It's
A
just a big
macro.
site. It's not a small tower.
It-
There's a certain, an 80-foot tower is not the same as a 155-foot tower. It doesn't have
Okay.
the same range.
And will there be lights on the
So
top?
we have to go through the FAA standards. We don't know for sure if there's going. That's not our decision. It's the FAA's. So that's part of the process for all of this.
And what kind of radiation does that emit? Because I know cell phone towers emit some radiation. So if this is bigger, badder, blah, blah, blah,
Couldn't
I
possibly
mean,
answer that. I don't have
so you don't know.
qualifications to even touch that. Sorry.
okay, because there's a lot of people that live around that site.
Yeah, I don't know. They can't answer that. There's another question somewhere over yonder.
I was just,
Right
with
under
regard
it.
to the broadband services, if AT&T's not providing it, will they be renting those other areas on the
Mountain
pole to
Road.
customers?
Right, yes, yeah.
Businesses that will be, that are already providing it?
So I don't know who they're gonna rent it to, but they're, or sell that space to, but again, the array is tall enough that it allows for at least 2 other carriers to have significant coverage, and then there are other lower levels that can be sold to other folks.
And when you say the pole is 150 feet high, that is from starting 50 feet down the mountain, so potentially it's 100.
So it's 155 feet tall, which is about 30th if you ranked all of the cell towers that are existing in Loudoun County, including the ones that we were just referring to up and down the mountain. It's smaller than the one to the north, and it's about the same size as the one to the south. Above sea level, it is, I always get this backward, it is about the same height as the one to the north and shorter than the one to the south. The one to the south, I think, is about 1,900 feet overall above sea level. This would
Said
be,
differently, how much of it do you see over the trees?
that's what we're gonna discover on Thursday.
7 and 9.
I don't know until we see it.
So what does AT&T need this for?
To help improve all their coverage for their customers and for businesses in the area.
For their
That
phone
one never
coverage?
did.
For their phone coverage, consumer, businesses,
Their
FirstNet,
whole merger thing,
sorry?
for their whole merger thing, it's their cell coverage.
You mean the DirecTV or the Time Warner? I'm not sure which merger.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just curious, is there any other technology that's gonna come to the area that won't involve this kind of poles that go up in the environment? I mean,
Yeah,
it's said differently, right?
yeah,
I know Verizon can run fiber under the ground,
right.
right? Or, we can use DSL over the phone lines,
Right.
right? Is there any other technology that's going to be provided to this area that is gonna improve broadband service other than point-to-point wireless?
Not that I'm aware of.
But let me just comment on that. So the town of Hillsborough, you heard our road project, we are saving a space for a conduit. And so I would say back to your client, we are actually having a conduit open. And AT&T should look at leasing that so that we could at least give some people some other things. So that may be something to consider to talk to the town of Hillsborough about going forward.
And if
Because I
it's
think
there,
that point
it's a
rate is a good one.
significant cost savings.
Yes, because we're already laying the conduit and you could pay us to put this
Well,
one
yeah,
here.
because, the people in Mearsville need something.
They do.
They have nothing.
So the reason why I brought it up, because I wanna make sure that I understand, what my options are going to be going forward. I have all points right now. It's point-to-point wireless, bounces off of these towers. And it's pretty good. I get a good signal because I can see it, right? I'm up on the mountain, right? But, if there are no other options coming to this area, what other options do we have?
Especially if you're
Right.
like in an area that does not have broadband. I mean, it's very difficult.
And a lot of the vineyards and the breweries that I've been to won't offer Wi-Fi because if they offer Wi-Fi to the customers, it crashes their point of sale.
Right. I mean, I'm lucky enough that my business has a direct line of sight to the
Mhm.
towers here. And we had to pay to have trees removed so we could get a direct line of sight. But a second business line opening, we have no options, and we're looking actually into trying to bounce into something in Maryland because there's an option in Maryland as opposed to Virginia. So, I mean, it's really tricky. I mean, it's hard.
So in the keeping time in check, and that we have a lot going on, we also, for those of you that remember 60 Minutes from the 1970s, we're gonna have a little point-counterpoint go on. Sam is here, Sam has spoken to us before, and is asked to just say something real brief from what the folks up in Lovettsville are doing.
Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, Dave. All right. Thank you. Oh, did I miss any big announcements? Did we say anything good?
Lots of them.
We're gonna go to Loudoun County.
Oh, no. We need sponsorships.
We need cheese.
And the meetings that anybody didn't know about before, did anything like that? What?
No, I think we're good. But just gonna run through them again in terms of where people can participate.
All right. Well, I guess the big announcement on my end is that this coming Thursday, 7:30 at the Old Stone School, we're going to have a community meeting, info session. Spread the word, come on out. Everybody's invited except for David. There you go. He's not. You're not invited, David. Sorry. Everybody else is invited. Tell your friends. Come on out.
Did you say 7:30 a.m.?
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys are asking good questions. The main thing, keep saying benefit. Just keep asking how. Because there's not an answer to that, because it's like from the last time. It's like, oh, in the broadest sense, you'll benefit from it. So, don't change your coverage at AT&T, until you have a friend that says, oh, the coverage actually is improved, because, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of details. I guess I better get caught up on exactly what David said before I say anything more, but just come out on Thursday for that one, and keep your eyes posted for some other community meetings, because I think there's
So Sam,
some
that's
required.
this Thursday. So Thursday is going to be the
Balloon
balloon
test,
the
right?
balloon test.
Yeah, so
we'll be
yeah,
able to see
later that day.
And then later that day, people will be able to gather at the Old Stone School,
Yes.
discuss things, and that's and you're running that. That's
Yes.
an open forum.
And what time is that?
Yeah.
And that's at
7:30,
7:30.
and it's going to be you're going to want to come through the front doors. The auditorium, I think, is going to be full Boy Scouts.
It is full Boy Scouts. So the traditional entrance on Charlestown Road.
Yeah, so come around the front, and then I think it's upstairs. We'll have signs.
It'll be in the town office.
Town office, yeah.
Sounds great. And then Sam, will you also be in Lovettsville at the Grange Hall for the
May 10th.
May 10th?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, so maybe
Yes, you do. You absolutely do. I emailed it to you 2 weeks ago.
May 10th
Not May 10th?
is a public information meeting.
Not
That
May 10th, man. I thought we were special pen pals.
You are.
Okay, we don't need, you know now. May 10th.
May 10th.
I thought we were talking May 16th, but
May
anyway.
10th, that public information meeting.
Well, okay. Well, I guess we'll get to the bottom of that later.
And Sam, you have a
So, okay,
a
well,
website,
yeah, also May 10th then,
you have
yeah.
a
And,
Facebook page or something that people are following on short?
well, Short Hill Rescue,
Okay.
that's a good one. If you're not on there, get on there. If you can only make it, so yeah, there are 2 meetings. You got the AT&T community meeting, that's gonna be great. May 10th, 6:30,
6:30?
is it?
Yes, sir, 6:38.
Okay.
So I
Dave,
just
do
want
you
to make
have
sure, I just want to make sure I understand, because you guys seem like oppositions here, and I want to, are you in tune with him in terms of what AT&T is going to do in communicating facts, or is this just an opposition to anything?
No, we're not opposed to anything. Like I told David, he came, before the project was announced, he emailed me, letting me know something was coming down the pipe. Came out to my house, told me the same, I guess what he told you, oh, this is gonna be for consumers. I've been asking the same questions, no answers. He asked me about community meeting dates, whatever. As far as I know, I'll look back in my emails, but it was like, I'm thinking about the 16th, is that good for you? And I said, yeah, it's great.
There was 1 point, right?
At the game club, okay, that's
Try to
great.
get it out.
Let me know when you confirm it.
So,
In all honesty, I did know that there was the May 10th meeting, before right now.
just to be
But not from
interested
David.
in time, but I don't, we
We
don't
don't
need
need
to
to
go
get
through
into that.
exchange emails and planning and everything like that.
Yeah.
You were instrumental in leading the kind of push to get the community informed as to what was going on, I guess, a year and a half ago now. And now there's new stuff bubbling up, and we just want to use this opportunity to let people know where and when they can get information. Obviously this is an emotional issue for people. It impacts what's going on around them, both from a positive perspective and that they might get faster internet, and from perhaps a negative perspective that they have to look at something they don't want to look at. And so there's a lot in play here, but I want to be conscientious of people's time. Things keep happening. People walk in, and we want to make sure everybody has a chance.
And just
So-
one last thing to say, so to summarize it, this coming Thursday, 7:30, and then next Thursday, the following Thursday, 6:30 at the game club. If you can only make it to one, make it go to David's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big one, but
So
come to both if you can.
So, Sam, one of the things we talked about earlier is another thing that we're asking people to go to, which is the NPTA meeting. David, will you have some kind of Facebook presence or something that after you do the balloon test, for those of us who might not be able to go to Lovettsville, is there some way that we can look at the results? And put in some public comment?
Sure.
what's-
So, I would suggest that I've been working hand in hand with Supervisor Buffington and Higgins. I'm sure they'll put a lot of information up out there. We do have a website. It's not the easiest thing in the world to update, but it is an AT&T specific website for this
For this,
location.
so if you could get that to
Yeah,
Carol,
we'll do.
that would be
I
really
actually
helpful,
have it.
and Roger. That would be helpful for our members, just to be able to stay current on the facts, which I think is what Henry is really talking about.
Thanks, everybody. Feel free to
Thanks, Sam.
questions.
Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
So again, since I'm looking at the clock and I realize we have an elementary school